What's up, y'all? It's Sporty Shorty 517 back at it again. If you follow the NBA, it's been a crazy free agency period. Free agency frenzy has been unbelievable this season. So without further ado, today I'm doing my top 5 NBA title contenders after this past free agent frenzy. So let's get it. You'll see me look to the side a bit. Have my notes over there, so I'll be referring to them. Keep myself focused. So let's get it. At number 5, I have the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, they were able to acquire Al Horford and Josh Richardson. Al Horford signing is going to be very big for them. I think he's going to complement Joel Embiid very, very well. They picked up Josh Richardson, but they did lose Jimmy Butler, which I think is going to hurt them a bit. But I think Josh Richardson is going to fit in admirably for him. And he plays both ends of the floor, young, athletic. Josh Richardson, he gets after it. I think he's going to be a good addition to their team. And like I said, Al Horford is a stud. He plays both ends of the floor. He's a good leader. And he will complement Embiid and Ben Simmons very well. I think Ben Simmons' jump shot will get better. And they also were able to keep Tobias Harris, which I think is huge for them. So with that being said, I feel like they will be title contenders and one of the best teams in the East going into next season. All right, so that's number 5, Philadelphia 76ers. At number 4, I have the Houston Rockets, who were able to acquire Russell Westbrook in a trade for Chris Paul. Now, if you don't know, Russell Westbrook and James Harden are extremely close. They played together when they were with Oklahoma City, the Thunder. Reports say that Chris Paul and James Harden didn't get along very well. They won't have that problem. Westbrook and Harden, very, very good friends. Not to mention, Westbrook is a baller. Walking triple-double. I don't know how James Harden and Russell Westbrook are going to complement each other, but I think they're smart enough to work it out. And being that they're friends, don't underestimate that. That will help them in terms of their chemistry. They also still have Clint Capella, who's an emerging player. He's young. He's only getting better. They have him playing at center. They still have P.J. Tucker, who's a dog, and I mean that in the best way possible. P.J. Tucker is relentless, very good defender. He can score the 3-ball. Just a tenacious player. Every team would want a guy like P.J. Tucker. Also, they still have Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon's a very good shooter. He's been able to stay healthy within the past few years. Eric Gordon's a very reliable player on that team. So, with that being said, the Houston Rockets, I have them at number 4, especially if James Harden and Russell Westbrook can figure out how to play very well together, which I think they'll probably be able to do. At number 3, I have another team from the East, the Milwaukee Bucks. They still have the Greek Freak, the MVP of the league. That's always going to help him, and he's just going to continue to get better. I understand they lost Malcolm Brogdon. I think that's going to hurt them. But they were able to re-sign Chris Middleton, who's a star player. They added Robin Lopez, and they added Wesley Matthews. Robin Lopez gets to come to a team that his twin brother Brook Lopez is currently playing on. They played together in college at Stanford. I think they're going to complement each other well, the same way they complemented each other well at Stanford. Robin Lopez is a more interior player than his brother Brook. Brook tends to play on the outside. He's more of a shooter than Robin Lopez. Robin Lopez is more of a defender. I think they'll complement each other very well. Why wouldn't you want to play with your twin brother? Wesley Matthews, I think, is going to help them, being that they lost Brogdon. He's going to help them spread the floor. He's a three-point shooter, and he's a great defender. As long as he can stay healthy, I think he's going to be a good addition to their team. That's the Milwaukee Bucks. At number 2, I have the Los Angeles Lakers. They have LeBron and AD. That dynamic duo is going to probably take them pretty far next season. They were able to add DeMarcus Cousins and Danny Green. Danny Green's definitely going to help them spread the floor with his three-point shooting. He's also a good defender. They add DeMarcus Cousins. If he can stay healthy, he's going to help them with their inside presence. And they played, DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis played together with the Pelicans. They seem to like to play together. So that should be a pretty easy transition. Again, DeMarcus Cousins has to stay healthy. And a lot of people I hear talking about Kyle Kuzma, and they kind of disrespect him a little bit. Kyle Kuzma is a very good player. He's young. He can score from basically anywhere. His defense needs to get better, but Kyle Kuzma is a very good player. I hear people kind of disrespecting his game a little bit, but Kyle Kuzma, he's a stud. He's a good player. Yeah, he's not a big three in terms of he's not LeBron, he's not AD, but I think he can be considered a big three on that team. He's definitely the third one, but he can be considered part of that big three. So again, they have Kyle Kuzma, they added Danny Green, they had DeMarcus Cousins, they added Troy Daniels. I think those are all good pickups for the LA Lakers, and I think LeBron and AD will figure it out. That's the Los Angeles Lakers at number 2. My number 1 team, I'm pretty sure you can all figure it out. It's the LA Clippers. They added Kawhi Leonard, and they go out and make a trade and add Paul George. Those are 2 of the best two-way players in the NBA. Kawhi just won a championship. Paul George is a great player, offense, defense. I think they'll complement each other very, very well. And with that being said, they still have Lou Williams, who's one of the best 6 men in the league. To me, he is the best 6 man in the league. Pure shooter, can score from anywhere, and he's not scared of any shot. They still have Montrezl Harrell, who's one of the best young big men in the league. Plays both the ends of the court, tenacious, he's a dog. And I mean that in a good way. He's a problem. He's one of the rough riders in the league. Tough, hard-nosed player. Doesn't back down to anyone. One of the tough guys in the league. Montrezl Harrell, one of my favorite players. And they still have Pat Beverly, who, again, he's a dog. And I mean that in a very, very complimentary way. Pat Beverly, one of the best guards in the league defensively. And he can hit the three. Pat Bev, still on that team. So you add Kawhi Leonard to the Clippers. You add Paul George to the Clippers. Still have Montrezl Harrell. Still have Lou Williams. Still have Pat Beverly. That's a monster team, especially defensively. But obviously, those guys can score. So you have 2 stars on that team, being Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. That team's going to be a problem for anybody. So at number 1, I have the LA Clippers. At number 2, I have the LA Lakers. At number 3, I have the Milwaukee Bucks. At number 4, I have the Houston Rockets. And at number 5, I have the Philadelphia 76ers. That completes my top 5 NBA title contenders for next season. On a side note, I have to give some ladies some love. I have to give them some big props. If you follow tennis at all, there's this young phenom, She's 15 years old. Her name is Coco Gauff, out of Florida. She made it to the round of 16, basically out of nowhere. Never heard of her before until I was watching the Wimbledon tournament. And she's phenomenal. She's 15 years old, made it to the round of 16. She eventually got beaten by Simone Halep out of Romania, I believe. Simone Halep is a highly ranked player. I think she's ranked number 7. And she was able to defeat Coco Gauff. But Coco Gauff, 15 years old, out of Florida, came out of nowhere. If you don't know who she is, check out Coco Gauff. She's an unbelievable tennis player. Big props to her. And also big props to Simona Halep for actually going on to win the whole tournament. So big props to Simona Halep and big props to Coco Gauff. Another big shout to the USA women's soccer team. They were able to win the gold medal. Props to Megan Rapinoe and Alex Morgan and the rest of those females on that team. Unbelievable feat for them. I'm proud of them, and I'm proud of Coco Gauff and also Simona Halep. So that completes what I have to say about the ladies in those particular sports. Congrats to them and their accomplishments. If you don't watch women's sports, please give it a try. These women are very competitive and they deserve our support. Again, my top 5 list is number 5, the Philadelphia 76ers. Number 4, the Houston Rockets. Number 3, the Milwaukee Bucks. Number 2, the LA Lakers. And number 1, the LA Clippers. Basketball in LA next season is going to be lit. Sporty Shorty 517, I'm out.